Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Friday night edition. I am your host, Lamont Tyson, with my co-host, the living legend, Larry. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm doing all right. I was I was down in DC checking out some of the shenanigans out at the Supreme Court. So yeah, people out there protesting and whatnot. It's just sort of a shame about what's going on.
Larry, this country is in an inflection point, my brother. We are actually seeing the country going backwards. And in all my life, from remembering politics, it just seems like the Supreme Court has been very conservative. From helping Al Gore lose to George Bush to, check this out, Larry, corporations are people. I was living when they ruled that bull.
Yeah.
When the last time you seen a corporation sneeze? Achoo.
Here's the thing that gets me, right?
Right.
Here's the thing that gets me about that. They make this ruling saying corporations are people. But when you have corporations that get convicted in court of polluting people's water and killing people. So they've said this corporation has killed people because they polluted water sources, they polluted the air, they have chemical spills. You don't see those corporations get the death penalty. You would think that if it's a person, they would say, your buddy's going on death row. You're getting the death penalty, which means in corporate speak that your corporate charter would be pulled and you would no longer be able to exist as a company. You would have to sell off your assets, pay out, liquidate your whatevers. Your investors would be asked out and people would be horrified by what happened. But that would serve as an example for the investors and the board members not to allow this type of behavior to happen, because you might end up getting the death penalty. But they don't do that. But corporations are a person.
Corporations are people. Not to mention the shit show that went down today, Larry. And as men, I'm bothered by the litany of males who could care less about abortions, Larry, but are just happy that liberals are upset. You more concerned about making liberals angry.
Yeah.
And not even thinking about there are some conservatives in the middle who was for choice. Let the woman choose if she needs to. This, I hope it backfires on your punk asses, but this is not just about a woman's issue. This is about a lot of people's issues, because if this Supreme Court had 3 nominees that got on national TV and basically said Roe v. Wade was the law of the land and lied, what else you think they'd be lying about, Larry? I mean, this might sound like hyperbole, but hell, how many steps is black folks away from slavery? How many steps is gay people away from losing their rights? Clarence Thomas already done came out and said they shouldn't have rights and that they should lose contraception. So ladies and gentlemen, this kangaroo court must be stopped. 2 of the people that are in office should not have been, on the court should not have been there. They was illegitimately put there because of Mitch McConnell punk ass and because of Donald Trump, the worst president in the United States history. And now you are continuing to perpetuate what black folks have been saying forever, that this country is rooted in racism and classism. Because now if a poor woman needs an abortion, she's going to have to go beg somebody with money to help her. That's that crony capitalism shit we be talking about all the time, that classism bull jive. If you live
or
in
she's going to end up doing the coat hanger thing like they used to, and then they're going to end up getting maimed or die.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Larry, let me let you get the floor, but let me let you see this right here. We are living in bad times when the right-wing leader of Britain says that America has gone too far and that a woman should have the right to choose. Take a look at this, Larry. Boris Johnson.
Women have options. That's what we want women to know. You know, pro-choicers, they say, we want to give women a choice, when really they give women the choice of abortion. They give women the choice to kill their child and harm them.
Abortion safe and legal. Abortion safe and legal.
They are not pro-life. They're pro-hypocrisy, pro-birth, and pro-control. If they were truly pro-life, they would not the Supreme Court's decision to allow open carry across this country. They would support gun control. They would support universal health care. They would support these things that actually affect the living, breathing human lives of this country.
The court's decision was really the culmination of decades of efforts by abortion opponents to undo the Roe v. Wade ruling. And it was really made possible by the addition of 3 appointees of former President Donald Trump to the Supreme Court. Before that, it would have been unthinkable for the court to take this momentous step.
I'd be absolutely clear with everybody. This is not our court. It's another jurisdiction, but clearly it has massive impacts on people's thinking around the world. It's a very important decision. I've got to tell you, I think it's a big step backwards. I've always believed in a woman's right to choose, and I stick to that view.
Larry, as I get ready to give you the floor, we have seen some of the worst things happen this week if you are a progressive thinker. First of all, Larry, they basically gave guns more rights than women with one of those decisions. And just like the girl in this video said, Larry, she basically said it 100% the way we're thinking it. Why the hell do you not want women to be able to choose to have an abortion? When the damn kids get here, you treat those parents like SHIT. Right. Or here's the evil plot, Larry. Here's the diabolical evil conspiracy plot. A lot of white people can't have children. You force these people to have these babies, that's free babies we get to take care of. Floor is yours, Larry.
Yours. I'll tell you, this is the thing. I mean, the whole abortion thing has been brewing for a long time, and I've been screaming about that and people voting as Democrats, and people get upset. Black folks want to get upset and say, oh, Republicans are Democrats are just as bad as Republicans. And I keep saying, no, they're not. And you have no idea how evil they are. But here's the thing that's really scary about this decision is that you already have Justice Thomas talking about using this case, this decision, this precedent as a stepping stone, as a pathway to reversing other things that are, other decisions that the court has made. And, like you were mentioned earlier about contraception, he has an idea that women should not be on should not have contraception available to them. And so if you take contraception away from women, you take the ability away from them to have an abortion. And then he was also talking about reversing this precedent and taking away the right for people to decide what is okay for them to do in their own bedrooms and allowing the government to regulate what sexual activities are okay for people to do. People need to remember, it wasn't long ago that pretty much anything besides vanilla intercourse was considered sodomy. So if you had oral sex, if you had anal sex, all of that was considered illegal. And here's the other thing that women really should pay attention to. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, you need to start voting against these Republicans, because here's the thing. It was not long ago, and I mean not long ago, I mean like maybe a couple of decades ago, like in the 80s maybe, that it was not illegal. It was not even considered a crime for a husband to rape his wife. It was not even considered a crime. The court said that it was an impossibility for a husband to actually rape his wife. So if you have a woman who does not want to be with her husband, maybe he's abusive, maybe she's trying to escape the relationship, if he finds her and rapes her and impregnates her, she can't even have the ability to get an abortion. If she's trying, if she's with her husband, she doesn't want to have any more kids because maybe the husband's abusive, not just to her, but to the kids, and she doesn't want to bring any more kids into that terrible situation. They're trying to prevent her from even having access to contraception to prevent those pregnancies in the first place. But at the same time, they're saying everybody in this country has the right to carry a gun outside of the home so that they can shoot and kill other people under the guise of self-defense? How many times have us as Black people been out there and our very skin color, our very existence has been viewed as a threat? Do you really want all of these white people running around with guns on them, looking at us as if we are somehow a threat because of our mere existence, and they decide they're going to take a gun out and shoot us? Now, you can hashtag that all day. You can have people marching in the streets. You can do all that, but in the meantime, you're dead. I mean, we have gone from living in was a country that was already problematic to just the upside down world. It is. I don't even know how to explain it. People talk about civil war. People talk about all kinds of stuff. I really worry myself that we are getting to a place, to a point of no return, where the only true way to get back on to have a real course correction is some sort of violence. And I don't want to see that in our country, not just because I live in this country, but America has for a long time been viewed as that beacon on the hill, that light on the hill. And so many democracies are formulated. They are modeled after ours. And if our country goes down like that, it starts a domino effect across the world of other democracies that are likely to fall as well.
Larry made some great points. State of North Carolina, maybe 4 years ago, just got rid of the fact that a woman can't be raped by her husband. That was a law in North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, up until like 2015.
That's crazy.
And if you keep letting these people legislate from the bench and push their damn crazy ass religious views from the bench, you're going to get more of this Sodom and Gomorrah bull jive. That's what you're going to get unless you start voting Democrat. And I don't give a damn if you're an independent or a Republican. If the fact that freedom is being eroded bothers you, vote Democrat. If you are not bothered by the insurrection, I don't know what else to say to you. But if you are Republican, independent, whatever, if you want justice, if you want to see a way where this country can course correct, and I'm not talking about power, I'm talking about course correct, bring people together under the guise of law, order, and justice, vote Democrat so that they can hold the insurrectionists accountable and maybe do something to get this Supreme Court fixed. Because, ladies and gentlemen, unless the Democrats grow a spine, pack the court, whatever you want to call it, expand the court, we're going to have to live with this bull job for a very, very long time. And this is some of the most conservative wish list judges you've ever seen. And they are going to have, hell, let's get real extreme. What if they decide women can't show no cleavage? Hell, women, you better not come out the house with shorts that's an inch higher than your knee. Larry, they just told you today they are capable of doing anything. And
they're trying to do it, and they signaled to people to take. They're signaling to them. These are the cases. These are the cases that we want you to bring, because we can apply this same standard to those cases. They're asking people to bring those cases.
Dog whistling.
And here's the thing, ladies. Here's not just ladies, but everybody. Here's the thing. It was not that long ago. It wasn't that long ago that a man, there was like, when we say spousal abuse now, many of us grew up out there. They've never not lived with the idea of spousal abuse. Spousal abuse is a relatively new idea, because it wasn't that long ago that a man beating his wife was just considered par for the course. He was disciplining her. She was misbehaving in some way. He was disciplining her. If a woman had her own opinions about things, if a woman wanted to go and get an education, they could say she's suffering from hysteria and put her into a mental institution. This was a very normal thing. When women misbehaved and their husbands could not control them, they would hit them, say they were out of control and suffering from hysteria, and they needed to be institutionalized. And they would lock them up. They would drug them up. They would give them lobotomies. They would do all kinds of horrible things to them. And this was a normal thing. It wasn't that long ago. It was only in the 50s and 60s, which people think
60s,
like, oh, that's so long ago. But many of us have the mothers and fathers that are from the 50s and 60s. Women were forced to stay in their marriages because they could not even have a bank account without their husband's approval. They could not say, let me go get a job and have a check put into my bank account. They couldn't get a bank account. They needed a man's permission. And they are trying to take us back into that way. They're trying to roll us back into that time.
They're trying to do exactly what Trump wanted. I don't think that people understand
how truly insidious the court is and how the Republicans are. They have been slowly and methodically building towards this. And if the Democrats don't get a spine, if we don't start just getting just the way that Republicans came up with these far right whack jobs with the Tea Party and then moving forward with all these other groups, if we don't start doing that same thing on the left with the same liberal ideas that we are angry, passionately, almost violently willing to go after and say we will fight for women's rights, and literally we will get in the streets and fight if we have to. If we don't start saying that we're going to start canceling school debt, we're going to make universities free, we're going to make sure our citizens are prepared for their future. If we don't start doing these things with the same level of passion, with the same zeal as Republicans are willing to do their horribleness, we might as well just throw it all away and just give it to them.
Hands up, don't shoot. That's what it's come to. If we don't do that, because we're just seeing a sampling of what's to come.
Messed up again.
Make no mistake, we are just seeing a sampling of what's to come, and we have got to fight back, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it was women's rights. Next, Black people rights, gay rights. Clarence Thomas done hinted at you. So, folks, get ready to get out in these streets and vote. And another thing, Larry, that gets on my nerve. They love to talk about how Dems are peacefully protesting when we have still yet to see a whole lot of angst and punishment levied, not enough, on the thousands of people that broke the barrier and rushed into the damn Capitol violently.
I think we need to get rid of the idea of peaceful protest. We need to cast away the idea of peaceful protest, because those folks on the other side of the aisle do not respect peace. And when I say there needs to be violent protests, I'm not calling for violence and to say we need to go start shooting and beating people up. We need a violent protest in the way Dr. King had a violent civil rights movement. People often believe, and they often throw that propagandist, whatever feel-good thing that Dr. King was all about nonviolence. He was not. He wrote in his own writings that their movement was a violent movement. The only difference was they went into situations forcing violence from the other side to be put upon them so that the rest of the world can see how insidious they are. And we need to do the same thing. We need to go out there and force them to place violence upon us so we can see, so the rest of the world can see how insidious they are and move us forward. Because right now, they don't care if you people go out in front of the Supreme Court and they protest for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. They don't care.
They don't care.
People who have been after these abortion things, you go out there, they will see people protesting in front of abortion clinics for years. People out there every day for years. These people are committed. And if we don't have that same level of commitment, we can't expect to win the fights against them.
Nah, man. So ladies and gentlemen, post your comments, get informed, stay angry, take it to the voting box. We're going to make it happen. Larry, on a funny but sad note, did you hear about this versus battle that went down last night? Man, it was a pure shit show.
No, who was it with?
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. We had a Marion versus Mario. Now, let me just put it like this, Larry. People that was hitting me up wondering who I thought was going to win. I said hands down Mario, because he's a solo act. Always has been, and he can really sing. I said a Marion comes from a group, kind of a poppy group. He had a few solo hits, but he's not a solo guy.
Right.
Larry, they get up on that stage last night, and oh my God. You know your ass cannot sing when you bringing props on the stage. Larry, Marion brought sliced watermelon to show women how good he can eat their box when they on a period. Just
Oh my goodness gracious.
Then Larry, Ray J get his I wish I had a wish ass on the stage and won't singing. And then he gets clowned because his singing is so bad. He gets clowned by Little Sammy, gets clowned by Bobby Valentino. Mind you, Bobby Valentino won't sounding good either, Larry. Omarion's singing was so horrible. He was trying to hit a high note and had to bring Tank out to finish the high note for him.
Oh my goodness. All these auto-tune brothers need to just quit it with the verses.
Larry, hands down, Mario won this thing running away. People who cannot sing is continuously getting exposed in these verses. And there was some real beef between Omarion and Mario. Because, Omarion had a Millennials tour and Mario came to the first one. Then he had a second one and Mario didn't get to come to the second one because Omarion didn't invite him. And the reason on stage, Mario said, you didn't invite me because I shut down the first one and sung better than your ass. And Omarion said, that's not true. We ain't invite you. So then Mario says, well, where's the rest of B2K? And then Mario had some dudes dressed up in all white like they was B2K to come out and help Omarion's no singing ass. Larry, when I tell you Mario whipped that butt last night, he pulled out the 5-knuckle shuffle
and handed it to him.
And just gave Omarion the business. But Ray J.
Wow.
Why get up there with your no singing ass, cussing with your child, only to get clowned and have Little Sammy and Bobby Valentino sing your song better than you, and they really wasn't singing it that good either. Hell, if I had one wish, Larry, what I just belted out sounded better than what Ray J did on that. It was a hot mess, and I'm very glad I didn't watch all of it. Very glad.
Some of these versus shows have been really, really just like not good. Like some of the people have showed up and I'm like, I see why you've fallen off, because if this is the effort that you're putting into this, I mean, you were doing well at one point, you had hits, people loved you. And if this is the energy you're putting out into your music now, I get why you fell off, you know?
It's like, look, if you can sing, you can sing. Mario can sing.
Right.
I don't know what, look, I hate to say, I really hate to say that Ray J and Omarion was studio work, but I mean,
yeah.
Now, Larry, they need to let me and you start bringing in the talent for these verses so we can go get like Anita Baker versus Karen White or something, you know, Mariah Carey versus Mary J. Blige, you know,
there
Beyonce versus Rihanna, something
there
like
you
that.
Go.
Let us get some real deal.
I want to bring Anita Baker versus Sade. There you go.
Oh my Lord!
Tell me that's not the joint right there.
Lord, have mercy. Lord, boy. Let us get into this review, Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take the last 30 minutes to review P-Valley episode 3, season 2. See what the big homie Larry thought about this series. And the Shy is on for all you people that love the Shy. It comes out tonight. But Larry, let me give you a clip that gives some of the essence of the beauty of this last P-Valley. Boy, it was hot. Here we go.
This is my favorite one. I like how you tap into that soft masculine energy. You know, I don't think I'm used to seeing photos of men taken from above them. It's like we always have to look up at them. And I like how you ain't do that, but also still kept his power.
Y'all give me a moment. This is one of my plays. This is Coach Haynes.
Nobody's ever described that photo like that.
Larry,
look at her.
Talk to me about how you like that chocolate, boy. Mother's milk.
She was in there just straight seducing the wife.
Larry, the panties melted off like Krispy Kreme.
She was like, I have the husband locked down. The coach was locked down. She had to get the wife on board.
Yes. Talk to me, Larry. How'd you like that scene with Coach bringing in Mercedes for a contract of $10,000 and got the wife on board, lured the wife in, and damn, the wife decided to jump in.
She really did. She was a baddie too, man.
I
feel like I've seen her someplace before. I was like, where have I seen her?
She's on a bunch of shows, man. She's on a couple of shows.
I couldn't remember what I saw. And then when she took her dress off, I was like, yeah, I definitely had seen her. I don't know. I might have been with her back in the day or something. I don't know, before I got married.
But Larry, when she took that dress off, a lot of people wasn't expecting her to have the body that she had.
Yeah, she was bodied all the way up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was bodied all the way up. I was looking at her and I was like, she would make a great vampire. She just looks like she would be like as Blade's mama. She would make a great vampire. But
bruh, every black man in America will be a vampire. Because if she come walking at you looking like this, you're gonna be like, suck on me, baby. Suck me dry.
Dude's gonna be like this.
First,
right here.
Be like this.
Right here.
Larry, you're gonna want her to suck every fluid out of your body. And I do mean every fluid. That's what she's gonna do.
She is bad, but yeah, her and I just have to say, I don't know what this dude did to deserve the life he's living, but damn, But
damn. This is another actor. This is not the same coach from last season. So I know the coach from last season. I don't know why the hell he left, but I know he's sitting here saying to himself, damn, I know it's acting, but I could have had all this sitting on me. Look at that, Larry. Look at that.
That is a lot. and he's supposed to handle two of those. I'm hoping he's in good shape. I hope he runs with his players because he's gonna need some cardio.
Or he better know how to work his hands, his mouth, and his feet. Because these are some blocks right here, Larry. What got them? You ain't just gonna be doing no sideshow Bob action with these two right here. Oh hell!
I'll tell you though, on one end, I feel like what did he do? But on the other end, the way they were talking about him, they really seemed like just really transactional in a lot of ways. Just like they were with him because he has all that he has. It didn't seem like they were really with him for him. And I was like, I guess if he doesn't care, if he's just like, well, I'm happy to have a hot chick on my side that's sexy, then cool. But otherwise, man, I'm like, dude, you're just, you're kind of disposable.
Well, see, I guess it seems like he's got his wife cornered because her passion is photography and he's not even giving her respect that she's still a photographer. Yeah. So it kind of seems like she's a stay-at-home wife. He's got her cornered in the position of, I'm paying the bills, taking care of you. Yeah. You need to let me do whatever the hell it is I want to do based on the conversation she had with Mercedes, because Mercedes said, I'm classy. I'm going to get your permission. And the fact that she was able to ingratiate herself to the wife, that just turned the wife on like tweet. She started playing with herself. Yeah.
And she's talented too. I mean, you look at her work, she's talented. So, but I guess he figures if he can keep her down a little bit, it's easier to control her, or maybe, he just doesn't want her to shine because he doesn't want any competition. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's enough sunshine in the world for everybody to get a little bit of it. So, but
if you don't got a Supreme Court that's trying to become a dictatorship by letting the majority viewpoint in America rule the majority viewpoint, ladies and gentlemen, that's how a dictatorship start. And you
minorities,
can have these dictators. You can have dictatorships in your own house too. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
So Big Larry, we got to talk about this chick too. How you like them sausage cooling lips? Sausage lips.
Which one was that again?
That's Roulette.
Oh yeah, Roulette. Yeah.
Roulette.
Yeah, Roulette's a hoe.
Well, define it, please, because I need to know what is your definition of that garden tool? What is the definition? I need to know what that is.
I mean, she's out there pulling card tricks and stuff. She's up there, she's Larry, up there trying to catch the right angle from the camera in the other room, and then she's out there, doing card tricks with dudes in the parking lot.
Isn't the professional term for that prostitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am diametrically opposed to you calling this woman a garden tool. Call her by her professional name. You heard what they said on Players Club, Larry. Closed legs don't get fed. That's what they said on Players Club. Oh my goodness. Okay,
so she is a a pleasure engineer.
Everybody need pleasure in their life, Larry, because it releases dopamine. It helps with stress, and everybody claimed their ass has been stressed out because of COVID. And hell, all of a sudden now white people want to give budget for mental health when black folks been telling y'all we have a mental health issue. You're like, hell to the no. But as soon as little white kids start shooting up folks, now you want to give money to mental health so that you don't have to deviate your energy from the gun lobby. But I digress, Larry. But
that's what I always say. We need whatever happens to us, whatever bad happens to us, we need it to happen to white people too, because that's when stuff starts happening. That's when change starts coming. Because we can have it happen all day and night. They don't care if it happens to us. But as soon as it happens to them, then all of a sudden it's a crisis and it needs to be fixed. And we need to throw money and resources and energy towards it. And when it happens to us, I don't care.
It's just a damn shame. But Larry, Roulette is breaking all Uncle Cliff rules. You know, this is rule number 3900.28. She breaking. in here, dips she got to make money. Yeah. How is this going to take this club down, Larry? And you know, we want to support Gail Bean because we love her in Snowfall. We love her up here, but she playing the hell out of this character, Larry. Talk to me about it.
Well, you know, that's what it's gonna come down to, because you know those people want that land. They want the club, they want the land, and if they're not gonna sell, especially at the price that they want, the next best thing is to get rid of it. It's just simply make it so that they can't function as a business. And so, you know, one way to do that is to simply say there's prostitution happening there, call in law enforcement and say, we need the place shut down because of I forgot what the violation, I guess would be like a violation of some vice laws, whatever they have there. And if they have cameras up there and they get homegirl, you know, on camera doing it, or they send in a sting, we'll have some dude come in there. Like the one dude said, I want the chick with the dick sucking lips. And my homeboy said that, you know, he got a sloppy toppy or whatever he said. And if they, you know, once that gets out, you know, and they do a little sting.
A sloppy toppy.
Isn't that what he said? Something to that effect.
What in the world is a sloppy? Is that what they called it back in the 70s, Larry? A sloppy toppy.
That's what they used to call it, sloppy toppy.
Ladies and gentlemen, post your comments down below, man. How old you think this dude is that he said it's a sloppy toppy? He almost made me hungry, made me think about sloppy joes. He talking about sloppy. Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So I think that's the angle they're going to use with this. Is they're going to come at her because when she's not going to accept the deal they're offering. They're going to start coming at her from other angles, trying to get her shut down. And I think the one way they're going to be able to try and do that is to come after them, saying that this place is that they're guilty of prostitution on the establishment. And it's one thing if the girls leave, if they meet up with the guys, and I don't know how that works, if they negotiate something on the inside and then they leave. If it has nothing to do with the business itself, if the business owners, managers, whatever, aren't facilitating that, they're not profiting from it, then I don't know if they can actually get them on that. But if it's happening in their facility, then it's a problem. So. And apparently it's already happened once in the spot, in the champagne room. It looked like it may have happened in the car there, or it's unclear if the person dropped her back off or if it happened there on the spot. So I don't know, but even if it happens in the parking lot, that's an issue. So I think they're going to come at them from the prostitution side and try and get them shut down that way. And that's going to be a big problem.
Two angles, Larry, because there's two dastardly deeds, some would say, that happened involving Roulette. So Roulette's getting out the car from doing whatever she did. She sees Big L and
moving
this gentleman that was gonna marry Gidget until he was talked right out of it that by whisper, by saying, look, you don't marry a stripper, you can F her though. And she saw, and your girl Roulette saw all the oxy. So now these two is married because they done seen each other doing dirty deeds that shouldn't be happening. And I also feel like Homeboy gonna wind up sleeping with Roulette. So Larry, you about to have a big ball of shit growing.
Yeah.
How is this gonna play out other than them just getting in trouble?
Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gidget back because I don't know where she's at right now. I think we saw her once on a FaceTime call, but those girls that work there are still cool with her. So as soon as they see Roulette over there with her white and black hair looking like Cruella, pushing up on dudes, someone's gonna call and be like, "Yo, you need to holler at your mans in them because he's pushing up on this stripper here," and so I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know which one it is that's gonna call her, but somebody's gonna call her, and
Mercedes could.
Mercedes might call her, or
they've been getting on Mercedes' nerves, calling her old, telling her she need to go get the wintergreen alcohol.
They brought her like a baker's dozen's worth on there. They had it lined up. It's like they went and cleaned out Dollar General. They went and bought that whole shelf of it and put it on her table.
Oh my God. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Roulette is in a world of trouble. And we're going to be here to give you guys the action how it play out. Now, Larry, I was almost tempted, Larry, to say, forget P-Valley. We got to talk about The Boys because that episode last night.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch The Boys. I've been trying to watch it on time every week because I was like, one of these weeks, Lamont's going to want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But last night was my wife's birthday, so we were out all night, hanging out.
Happy birthday, wife.
So I didn't watch it. And I had to get up early because my nephew came in, so I had to get up and be at the airport at like 6 a.m. to pick him up. So he's here visiting now. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight and catch up. So we might have to talk about it.
I might have to make a special appearance for Larry.
It's like that.
Bruh.
It's even more than a sneeze.
This is the most gruesome episode ever.
Oh my God. It can't get much worse.
Okay, well, let me set the narrative for you, Larry. What is one thing that you've never seen Marvel do with Mr. Fantastic that every man has thought about doing?
No, they did not.
They did it.
Oh,
they did it.
Oh,
and it is going to wrap itself around MM, and MM is not having it.
Oh my gosh.
MM is not having it.
I'm gonna have to watch this tonight. Oh my God.
So Larry, we got to talk about this chick right here.
Where the blessings reside,
Pastor Woodbine, Larry. Let me show you a clip of Pastor Woodbine so you can get a better understanding of her dastardliness.
I wish you had followed God's proverb. Jesse?
Trees?
So you gonna stop the saints from clapping for Christ, but let them booty cheeks cross the way clap all night?
Ain't my fault you done fuck with the wrong neighbor.
Nigga, won't nobody talking to your overseer ass.
Shut down effective immediately.
So where do you expect me and my congregation to meet and cleanse Chuckalisa of the sins of your...
Did you see how she was shimmying, Larry?
She did. She shimmied and said, what do you expect us to cleanse? Chuckalisa.
I'm going to have to start calling her... I'm gonna start calling her Booty Clapping Pastor. That's gonna be my nickname for her.
Pastor Booty Clap.
Pastor Booty Clap, because she's competing with them, and those are her terms. Now, Larry, she said a mouthful this episode to the point of she's even threatening to run for office because she feels like people is overlooking, and there's a part of you that want to like her character because she ain't lying when she say you can't trust white folks. When it comes to that type of environment. She's telling the truth about that. Problem is, Larry, it's hard to trust the black folks that get into these positions too, because you become corrupt with the power. But can you see her running for mayor and actually winning, Big Larry?
I do, and that's where I was actually going to just go with it. I was going to say it seems like they're setting it up for a three-way race with Corbin's brother. I can't remember his name. I just always in my mind, I always just call him Corbin's brother. But with him, Pastor Booty Clap and Andre, I think they're setting it up for a three-way race between them. I don't know who's gonna win. Part of me feels like it would be great if Andre won, because then he'd be forced to stick around. But then at the same time, if they don't have Corbin's brother win, what role do they play? Where do they fit in all this story?
Oh, Larry, Larry, these are white guys in the antebellum South. And when they don't get their way, what do? They put their face under a hood and they cause terror. You could easily do that. They could terrorize Corbin. They could terrorize Chuckalisa. They could terrorize the Pynk. They could just become nightmares with their money and influence and do something. But the thing is, if Dre becomes mayor, I did a trailer breakdown from what we see next week. It looks like he might have had a conversation with the wife. I'm going to run for mayor. And the wife is not having it because she's a doctor back in Atlanta. And she's like, I ain't trying to come from Emory, one of these big time hospitals, to move with your ass to Chuckalisa for you to be mayor. You kidding me? When you ain't really support me all this time we had COVID, you sitting in here in your boxes, can't get me no almond milk, playing NBA Live. So that's going to cause a rift with them, Larry, and I'm not really ready to be done with his wife either. What do you think could happen what would be the most interesting of the three to become mayor? Pastor Booty Clap or Dre?
Dre. Because if Dre becomes mayor, it becomes much more of a problem for everybody in a lot of ways, because even though Corbin's, brother is trying to work everything out so he can get his piece of the pie for the casino deal, it now means, okay, their attorney, Corbin's attorney is now going to be the mayor. The mayor, Corbin might be like, look, what the deal is with all this. You have the inside route. Let's make this money together. These white folks think that they can do whatever they want with us. Let's make this money together. And now he may put some extra pressure on the people at the Pynk, but now he's got this issue, this conflict with the Pynk, because he may want to make money with Corbin, but he's also in love with Autumn Night. And so now he has to deal with his emotions with that. And he might actually be free to do it, because if they might end off the season with him winning as mayor and his wife saying, I'm out. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not staying in Chuckalisa. And I see the way you look at this woman, so I'm leaving. And so now it might be something where she's gone, he's free. He now can deal with Autumn Night. And now, because of the deal with the casinos that maybe he's trying to deal with on the political end and the financial end with Corbin, he now has to deal with Autumn Night, except now he doesn't ever know, is she into me or is she playing that she's into me because she's trying to work out a better deal for herself? I just think it makes it way more interesting to me if he ends up as mayor. Like if I feel like if Corbin's brothers, because he's like interim mayor right now, I feel like if he stays mayor, becomes the official mayor, and really do much for me.
Right.
I always wonder about that dude. Like, they always tease Corbin about being black, being this illegitimate kid. And I look at this dude with his shag, and I always think, like, bro, you need to check your 23andMe. I think you might be you might be a passing dude. You might be one of these dudes that's passing, No.
Got a little I'll be sure going on right there. But Larry, that's not the only story that was going on. So speaking of that Autumn Night, and Larry, I defy you to find a more beautiful cast from top to bottom. You can find a story that might have 2 or 3 bangers. But when it comes to top to bottom, men, women, black, white, in between, this is one of the most beautiful casts that has ever been put together on TV from top to bottom.
There are some attractive people on here.
Yes, all ages and all that. And speaking of Autumn Night, who was one of those people, her and Uncle Cliff come to an understanding that, Larry, they need each other. So much so she's willing to give up some control, and now she's got 69%. She's giving the rest to Uncle Cliff. And we learned that Uncle Cliff, he know how to do math. If she sell for $10 million, he get 3.1. Larry, can you see the Pynk being sold now that Uncle Cliff is fully on board with helping Autumn Night get this thing up and moving?
Oh man, I want to say that I can see him being on board to sell it for that kind of money, because 3.1 million is life-changing kind of money.
You got that right.
Especially in a place like Chucalissa. That's a place that, that's seriously life-changing money, because you can start another Pynk. You can start another business. I mean, the Pynk is not the building. The Pynk are the people in the building, because we saw that when they couldn't open up that building, they still were pulling people in with the car wash. I mean, you can replicate the experience elsewhere.
Not only pulling them in, Larry, getting them to nut on the dashboard.
And they were prepared. They had the sanitary wipes ready, because they just knew.
And the weed wings.
You eat those wings, you get hungry, and so you come right back, and you eat them, and you get hungry again. You come right back.
Come right on back. Come right on back. And I love the wardrobe on this show too, man. They be having me tripping every week. And so I'm with you, Larry, man. That's a deal. Now we got to talk about this, Larry. Talk to me about this Champagne campaign tour and that Mississippi.
Oh my goodness gracious! I didn't think that shit can get any finer.
All of them, Larry. All of them. Now they went on the Champagne campaign tour, Larry. They tearing the streets up, but in true Negro fashion, we get out here, and the security is so messed up in the head. They need security, because here's the issue with security, Larry.
He's not security.
He know he gay on the inside, and when he got challenged by this brother, basically called my man gay, that's when he lost it, because he knows that's what's really going on. And he eventually has a little conversation with Little Murder about his rhymes getting him through. But Larry, how can this Champagne campaign tour keep going when your security ain't wound up tight?
Yeah, see, that's the problem, I think, with a lot of these dudes. They bring on their homeboys from back in the day to run security or something, but they don't understand there's a difference between being, muscle and being security. This dude's acting like muscle. He's up there beating people down and catching bullets and whatnot. And that's not your job as security. Your job as security is to prevent those situations from ever happening. You're saying your job as security is to get your mans in them, to get your primaries in that vehicle and leave. Your job is not to get out there and flex your ego and get into some beef with somebody else. That's not your job at that time. You tell that dude, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna holler at you at a different day, and I'm gonna catch you when you're alone. We're gonna have a conversation about this, and let it be, and leave it at that. You don't go out there getting the club shot up, and because that messes with your money, because you get that club shot up, and the next place you're supposed to stop, they're going to be like, yeah, we don't really want you coming through, because the last place you went, it got shot up, and we're not trying to get shut down over some BS, so we're just going to find another act that it's a little bit safer. So but he needs to talk to him, because his man did seem extra. I've never been to jail, so I don't know how that is with these dudes up there. He's talking about his rhymes got him through. It seemed real sensitive and extra in that moment, but it could have just been like the dudes in solitary confinement, and that was really what got him through. But he did sound like he was I don't know, like there was a little something extra there,
Sound like he was about to get on bended knee and propose.
Something, and we know Little Murder's gay, so it wouldn't be surprising if it turned out that was the case. So I just don't know. Some people just truly are gay, because I guess when you look at him right there with Mississippi, if you're gay and that doesn't turn you straight, you really are just born gay. There's nothing you can do about it. That is how you are, because she is damn near as perfect a physical specimen as one could get.
I keep saying all the women on this show are, except for one, and I'm about to talk about her right now, Larry. There is one woman who, not in real life, but on the show, the way they dress her up, her ass scares me. If I seen her looking at me, Larry, I would run right out the door and you know who I'm talking about. This Whisper chick.
Oh God! Oh, Crazy Eyes.
Larry, everything about her is enigmatic, and I think the show is doing a great job of positioning her to be enigmatic. Now she looks scary as hell, but in real life, Larry, her name is Psalms, and this is what she looked like in real life. She's beautiful in real life. Yeah, she's straight. But when she put on that Whisper outfit, man, that is somebody I don't want in my ear.
She kind of looks like Eva Mendes in real life.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I thought too. And Larry, Whisper be giving you all these anecdotes and little rhymes and got the wings on her back and she's in the roots and all that shit. So I think she's going to have a run-in with Diamond. But this is what she did this night. She go in here, tell Roulette she's filled with the darkness, but it's a compliment. Then she fills Roulette full of the white. Larry. Yeah. And she's doing it too. Larry, what's going to come of Whisper? Because this is dangerous. You got a woman like this, as Eddie Murphy said, you got a piece of evil ass, and that evil ass is pushing out evil drugs. Larry.
Yeah, you need to stay away from that. You need to stay away. They need to stay away from both of them. You know, both of them. They both need to go. One of them is just evil and scares me, you know, and the other one is just bad news. She is just straight trouble. She is bad news, you know.
Wow.
But that chick right there, boy, you could tell just like that little smile she has, and yeah, she is no, I don't want her anywhere near me, you know.
And then the way she manipulates her voice on this show, no, Larry, no,
That's one of those women. It's like I've been around women like that before. We all have, and sometimes when you see it, you recognize it. You see him come up there, and you just have to smile and say, "You know what? Stay away from me. I know what you're about. Stay away from me. You know, I am not buying what you were selling." But you know, on another note, you can't just go around sniffing people's random stuff. This is not the 80s where you had these wonderful coke fueled parties. You can't just go sniff people's random stuff because it might be cut with fentanyl, and you sniff it, and the next thing you know, you're in the bathroom stall dead. You know.
And what did we see Big L and his homeboy pushing in the back of the club, Larry?
Oxy, you know. So you just have to be careful. You don't know. You can't just start taking random. You can't take random stuff. You can't randomly smoke people's joints like people used to do. I know people used to pass that. You can't just randomly, take something someone passed you. You can't just randomly sniff something someone hands you because you don't know what it is. You might end up dead nowadays. Somebody said she looked like Storm. I was thinking that a little bit, that she did have a Storm vibe to her. So
Larry, this is the kind of woman. This character could literally be play on The Boys. And you could have her with a glow-in-the-dark vagina, and she would fit right in on that show. Every time you stick your penis in there, it glow up, and that would make every man run except for Homelander. That's what you can do with her.
Oh, my goodness.
Bruh. And last thing I'm going to cover with you, my brother, before we get out of here. This was revealed. We finally figured out the deal between Mercedes, her daughter, and her baby daddy, who this is the lady in the tub was with him. He would not let Mercedes, told the wife, look, hell to the no, Mercedes can never have the daughter. The daughter hears the whole thing, but Larry, why was the daughter mad at Mercedes when you heard the whole thing? Talk to me, Larry.
I think she's just mad and she doesn't know how to express herself because she's young and she's just not emotionally mature yet. She's watching, she's going through all of the traumas that everybody was going through the pandemic. She's watching her mother turn into a full-blown alcoholic. She's up there having to drive her mom to the store to get more liquor. She doesn't even have a driver's license. She's getting pulled over by the police, driving her mom to the store while her mom's in the back, half passed out. And, and then Mercedes has to come get her, and her Mercedes is up in there. It sounded to me like that was Mercedes' sister, It sounded like that was her sister, and she ended up sleeping with her man, and but it sounded like she was seduced by him. And Mercedes was a young kid. It sounded like she was only 14 when she was seduced by him. Ended up having a baby at 15, And
she admitted that she lied about her age, though. She did admit that.
She did admit it, and she did admit that she was taken by him and she liked the dude. But I mean, how much responsibility do you put on a child?
Exactly. Right.
I mean, I get it. Kids lie about things, and it's the adult's responsibility to see through that foolishness. So that, but there's so many times I've heard stories where people say, "Oh, I didn't know that she was young because she lied to me." I'm like, it's your responsibility when you meet a person, a young woman, to verify. You meet somebody and you think, "Oh, this chick is hot," but why is this little young John hitting on me? You need to make sure if some chick says I'm 18, cool, let me see your ID.
Or you sitting there wanting to know why the hell she talking about every popcorn rap group in America, and she telling you she 25, but there ain't nobody 25 listening to no damn B2K in 2003. You probably
BTS
like 15 years old, right? But ID.
But I think the daughter is just upset in general, and she doesn't really have an outlet for it. She doesn't know how. She's not emotionally equipped to deal with it, and I just don't. She, from the outside, it looks like she has a good life. She has this big, beautiful home she lives in. It looks like she's taken care of, but from the inside, everything's falling apart for her.
Right. So sad, man. So sad. Ladies and gentlemen, we got up to 150 people in the building. Can you guys give us all a like? Larry has a YouTube channel. I post these I'm back to posting on the Life Gains podcast, so check that out. And also follow us on the gram, ladies and gentlemen. And I do now have a TikTok.
Oh, there you go.
All the social media. Check us out. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Me and Larry will be back next week.
And I'm going live right after this.
Oh, so Larry about to go live right now. So if you just hang on, switch over to his channel, you can go have yourself some fun right now. So Larry, what you going to be covering on your channel?
I'm doing my weekly haul video. For those of you who are subscribers to my channel, every week, usually on Friday, I do my weekly haul video where I all the packages that companies send me and different brands send me, I usually set them aside and I open them up on Friday at one time, and I kind of go over them and show you what I get. And some products I'm only, showing during the haul video. Other products I plan on reviewing. So it's just sort of a mix of different stuff. I usually never really know what I'm going to get, because sometimes people tell me they're going to send me stuff, and sometimes I have mystery boxes that just show up and I have no idea what's in there. So it's always kind of fun to open up the packages live and see what's what. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Check out Larry. And also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to go check out Nita the Diva, Moochie, and Miss K. They are doing their review. So go check them out. Give Larry some time, give them some time, and come back and give me some time on Monday. It's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe. Till that next Sex is Hell video, go watch The Boys. One of the best things on TV. And we'll see you.
#sneeze.
Yes. Until this week.